Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. What do you do when you almost have something, right? When you're getting close, when it's starting to happen, when you're noticing little things? What do you do? Do you change it up? Do you not? I think one of the biggest mistakes many of us make is we change it up. We start doing things differently. So let me step back a second here. Let's try to paint what I'm kind of talking about, and then we'll sort of get into the meat and potatoes of it, if you will, or the soy-based protein and potatoes, depending on what side of that you come from, right? You know, it's one of these situations we've been trying to manifest someone maybe for a period of time, right? Long period of time, maybe a few weeks, couple months, whatever. Maybe it's a breakup. It's one of those situations, right? And you're kind of worried about whether or not things are going to work out, whether they're going to forgive you, any of that stuff. So you're doing these techniques, living from the end, you're imagining, you're doing clarity, you're vision board, You're trying all these different avenues, and you're starting to see signs and symbols and indications, and it's like, all right, cool. So what I've been working is definitely starting to indicate itself in life. My best friend just suddenly got a girlfriend, and so like I'm on my way, right? Obviously I'm about to meet her. A lot of times we start to maybe wonder if we need to switch it up. Or say, for example, it gets even better. We finally get that text message from them. We haven't heard from them in weeks, right? And out of the blue, they text us, and we text them back, and we have this great little conversation. Or maybe we bump into them at the cafeteria or at the coffee shop, and we have a brief exchange, but we hadn't talked in weeks. And so we finally talked. It was really cool. It was really nice. Got a hug, and they walked away. And you're like, oh my God, it's starting to happen. Things are working. The mistake so many of us make right here and now is we start to change it up. They texted us once, so the very following day, we start bombarding them with texts like we would have in the olden days. We start acting like things are way further along than they may be. And when we do that, we tend to push them away. We start to get back into that neediness. We start to get back into that separating things. We start getting back into pressure that maybe was not helping bring things back. It was that distance, it was that energetic work, it was the imagining scenes, it was loving them from afar, it was communicating with their higher self, doing thought transmissions. It was these things that have built up this energy that has made them want to communicate with you, that has made them want to approach you again. So instead of continuing the behaviors that we've been doing, we start doing things differently because we're excited. And there's nothing wrong with being excited, but there's something wrong when we start changing up an award-winning behavior or a behavior that's been working, right? Like it's creating the outcomes you want. But we're so excited. We've been waiting so long that we want to change it. We want to somehow bring them in faster. We want to reel it in harder, right? And it's like in fishing, which is sort of a bad analogy because I'm not the best with fishing, but if you reel too quick and all that, you'll either break your pole, you can break your line. Like a lot of things can happen, right? You can maybe pull the hook through, I don't know, like, you know, if you yank too hard or whatever the heck, right? But there's a task to reeling in a fish, right? Like, and it's exhausting and it's tiring, and sometimes you got to let line out, right? Sometimes you got to, or if you stop it, snap, you lose your catch. Same applies when we're trying to reel in our love. You can't control them. The fish is wild and loosey-goosey all over that line. It'll run under the boat. Who knows? Might snag on something, right? There might go down under the rocks. Like tuna, they love to dive. I guess the second you yank on them, they just go deep. So it becomes quite a struggle to pull them up to the surface because they're like a heavy fish on top of everything trying to swim away, right? So you've got to stick with what you've been doing. What's been working is what is getting you to where you're at. Don't change it up. Catch yourself, relax yourself, take some deep breaths and go, okay, cool. We're making progress. We must be doing something right. This is what we should be telling ourselves. I must be doing something right because things are starting to occur. Let's keep doing what I've been doing. Keep using the techniques that you've been using to get yourself to that place where you're close. So many of us walk down that path where we try to make something else happen, try to expand it faster than it's ready to go. Or, in a lot of cases too, and this is something to also be mindful of, A lot of us maybe have spent a lot of time. Maybe it's a specific someone that maybe they don't really know you. Maybe it's not an ex situation, but it's someone that you work with or it's someone that you know casually. And you've spent a lot of time inside your mind and heart with them. You've got feelings for them. Maybe they don't have the strongest of feelings for you yet, but that's what you're manifesting, right? A relationship with them. So through all this time and all these efforts and the connections that we've done with them and the love we've felt in our hearts and the tears that we've felt come through us as we've been surged with this feeling of love every time we think of them and we imagine being with them and imagine having a child with them or whatever your dream is with this person. We've spent so much time ourselves with them that we have a level of love or care that might surpass where they're at in the relationship. So sometimes when you walk up with someone, this reminds me, and it's so sad too, because there's a girl I had, this is 5th grade too, this is forever ago, but it was a girl I had, I'm not going to say her name, I'm 100% sure she probably doesn't even know who I am still at this point of my life, but someone I had a major crush on, super cute, really, really liked her. She lived down the street from where I was at. And we somehow connected, or I went to her house after school. It was 5th grade, so it's, I rode my bike over there or something stupid. And we were hanging out and talking and had a really good time. Might have hugged her, something like that, right? And I go home. Well, the very next day, she gave me a card that was just full of like, I love yous and all this. It was like really, really super drippy, super wet, super a lot of stuff in there. And it was way too much for me, way fast. Like, my feelings were not evolved to the place where she was at, and it actually pushed me away. And it was sad. I mean, I literally still to this day, I feel bad about it, but I don't think I could have done anything different. I think when someone bombards you really hot and heavy with emotion and you're not at that place yet, it pushes you away. It scares you off. Gave me a good example of what I know I have done to people. And I'm a very passionate person. I'm a very emotional person, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So one of the major flaws I've had in my life growing up with relationships especially is kind of doing that same thing. Early on, putting too much emotion. Early on, making them too important. Early on, flooding them with love and all this stuff when the relationship hadn't really evolved properly to reach that point. Like, I was way past where the relationship was. And in doing so, actually did damage in some of these relationships and pushed people away in ways that they didn't really want to come back. I wasn't necessarily a safe choice, right? Or maybe not safe, but I was weird, right? It was awkward. It felt strange. They didn't want to hurt my feelings, blah, 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 right? There's all those aspects that go into it. So if you're doing something that's working, if it's getting you in the direction that you're trying to go, keep doing what you've been doing. If you're miles ahead of the person that you're going to be with, if you're so head over heels in love with them and they barely know your name, understand that you're going to have to calm yourself, pump your brakes, as they may say, back the truck up, beep, 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 give yourself a chance. Because if you come into it hot and heavy, you're going to push them away. It's like a football player, like linebacker just running into you full steam, bam, right? I just got hit with the power of love. 300-pound linebacker love coming right at me. And that will knock you sideways. It'll knock you out. And so it's very dangerous. So keep these things in mind as your manifestation starts to happen. Don't start running when you should still be walking. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. If it's working what you've been doing, keep doing it. Don't change it up once you start getting the results. Don't change it up once the success starts to happen. The success is happening because of what you did yesterday, because of what you've been doing. Now all of a sudden they texted you out of the blue and you want to change it up. No. Keep doing what you've been doing. It's working. Don't go too fast. In today's day and age, in social media, instant everything, microwave popcorn in 2.5, 3 minutes, 3 minutes 15, right? Depending on the microwave. Versus the olden days where you had to maybe break out the Jiffy Pop or throw it in the air popper or whatever, where it actually took a little time. You had to actually heat up the oil and drop them in there and listen to them crunch and pop and blah, blah, blah. Now we don't. Now we just take the bag, take it out of the plastic, put it right side in there, and like, and what, 3 minutes later, you got popcorn. If you go too long, you stink up your entire house or office. I hate when that happens. Burning the popcorn. Darn those people that burn popcorn in offices. Can't even tell you how many times experienced that. We literally had to put signs up in the kitchens like, do not burn popcorn. It's like, you shouldn't even have to tell people that, but they'll do it anyways. And the analogy still works with those of us that are passionate about someone. We should know better. It's been working. If you rationally thought about it for a second, you'd be like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to just go bombarding them with love when they're not quite ready for that. But I love them so I want to do it. I feel them, right? Like, and then you instead of what your brain just said, your brain's like, whoa, back the truck up. Yeah, your heart's like, no, I'm running full steam right at them. Don't. Keep doing what you've been doing. You're on track. Things are working. And if you're not quite on track yet, you're probably really close anyways. Keep doing what you've been doing. Keep working towards it. When things start to open up, keep doing what you've been doing. As it expands, as they meet you halfway, as they start to grow and evolve with you, as the water starts to lift both of you up, that's as you start to enjoy the progression as they're ready for it. If you can do it that way, you will find more success, you will find it quicker, and you will find that you have fewer of these little rebound moments where you get close, you get far, you get close, you get far. Look at what you're doing. You're probably changing it up. You get that text message, and then the very next moment, you're spamming them with 15 more text messages. You're killing yourself. Stop it. The one text message they sent you was because they hadn't heard from you in a while. Maybe send one here and there. Like, I get it. Like, step it up a hair. Step it up in small increments. Maybe you hadn't texted them in a week, and then they texted you out of the blue. All right, wait 2-3 days and text them. Wait 4 days and text them. Let it evolve. Let it progress. Let you be something they're thinking about too. Don't just be the one thinking about them. That's not balanced. That's not healthy. Got to keep it in that healthy realm. Make sure we're giving ourselves the best chance at success. Hopefully this makes a difference for you guys. It's certainly something that I've had to think about many a time in my life through relationships and kind of getting involved. And it is definitely something that I've seen a lot of people screw up when they get really close. Keep doing what you're doing. You're rocking and rolling. I'm loving it. I appreciate all you guys. Sorry I haven't been around for a while traveling. For those of you that watch a lot of me, you probably know I've been traveling. At least you figure anyways. Usually when I go silent, that's usually what's happening. But that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you want to help my channel, one of the best things you can do is share my videos on your social media pages or with your friends or however you want to do it. It's very helpful. You just click that little share button and beep, just push it off into whatever, into la la land. And that always makes a huge difference. And certainly the comments, I'm a little behind on them, but I was doing pretty good. I just had a couple travel days in there and then just a couple really busy days at work. But all that being said, comments are a great place to throw show topics. I've got questions, different things that you're curious about. Drop them in there because I enjoy looking at that. I enjoy going through them and trying to see, oh my God, that's a great question that you're asking, and I think that would benefit a lot of people. So usually the question of one can represent many in so many cases. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Going to be recording with Agnes a little later today. I'm going to do my best to get that video out first thing tomorrow morning. Agnes may beat me to the punch. It depends. With her and I, you never know, because I think it's going to be early in the day Sunday when we record. It's going to be later in the day for me Saturday. So it'll take me a little bit of time to process and then get it uploaded, but all that good stuff. But tomorrow should be looking at getting ourselves a video with Agnes and I. And I don't want to tease the topic, mainly because I've forgotten. But there is something specific that she wanted to share that we were going to talk about that should be pretty exciting. So looking forward to that. And we'll be doing, like I said, more great shows. It's my voice cracks. That's good. One of these days, I'm going to actually get done with puberty, and I will be able to not have a cracky voice, and that will be fantabulous. Stand radio style. Love you guys.